The promise of change is always seductive, not a revolution, but the kind of clear, deliberate shift that says the future is being shaped on purpose. That's the mood swirling behind the palace gates right now. Prince William, the heir who prizes duty over drama, is weighing a decision that could redefine the monarchy he will inherit. It isn't just about policy, protocol, or trimming a budget. It's about who stands beside the crown and who doesn't when he ultimately takes the throne. And the fallout, if he follows through, won't be confined to public perception. It could slice straight through his own family. What's on the table is stark. A leaner, cleaner royal machine, with Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, and even Queen Camilla potentially pushed to the margins. The plan is not a purge for spectacle's sake. It's a recalibration with one priority: credibility. For William, reputation is capital. You spend it carefully, you defend it fiercely, and you do not allow it to be squandered by scandal. Royal commentator Jenny Bond, writing in the paper, framed it bluntly: Andrew should dread the day William becomes king. Where King Charles has preferred accommodation, keeping family within reach even when their shadows are long, William appears more inclined to draw a line and keep it drawn. That line hardens every time controversy resurfaces. The reappearance of emails linked to Jeffrey Epstein, Andrew, and Sarah Ferguson rekindled a national irritation that never fully cooled. The argument from William's side is brutally simple: the institution cannot be expected to absorb scandal indefinitely. According to Bond, the Duke and Duchess of York have inflicted untold and unsustainable damage on the crown's standing. Under a William reign, the quiet tolerances and backroom compromises that allowed certain figures to hover near the royal fold could be replaced by a zero-tolerance approach. If you compromise the crown, you're out. Not out of the family, out of the public-facing institution that asks the country to believe in it. If you're looking for proof that the ice is already thin, consider the optics from a recent solemn family gathering, where an awkward exchange reportedly made it crystal clear William has no appetite for playing nice with his uncle. Moments like that matter because they reveal personal limits, and William seemed to be set earlier and held firmer than his father's. Charles prizes consensus, continuity, and the healing balm of time. William prizes the standard. For him, stability is not the absence of conflict, it's the presence of clear rules. None of this is as easy as crossing names off a list. The heart of the dilemma has two names William cares about deeply: Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. They are loyal daughters who love their parents and have paid the emotional toll of every headline they never wrote. William knows that sidelining Andrew and Sarah Ferguson isn't just a line on a palace organizational chart, it's a blow that lands on his cousins. Bond calls it a genuine quandary, and she's right. William is not made of stone, and whatever he decides will reverberate through the most human part of the monarchy: the family dining table, the private WhatsApp chats, the cousins' bond that predates any title. The calculation grows more complex with whispers about Queen Camilla's future role under a William reign. Charles has worked diligently to make Camilla central to his court: dutiful, steady, present. William's relationship with his stepmother is more reserved, and he may not keep the emphasis where his father put it. If that happens, it won't just be a personnel shift. It will be a signal that the next reign intends to mark its own boundaries, less about sentiment, more about structure. So where does this leave the crown? There are two competing theories. One says a firmer, leaner monarchy trimmed of controversy would signal moral clarity. It would tell the public that behavior has consequences even for those born inside palace walls, that accountability outranks bloodlines. The other warns that shutting out familiar faces, especially when those faces are connected to beloved cousins, could paint William as clinical or unfeeling. In an age where the monarchy survives on soft power as much as tradition, the line between principled and pitiless is wafer thin. Look back to the moment Andrew stepped away from frontline duties after that catastrophic interview about Epstein. The public expectation then was decisive finality. What followed under Charles was something softer: a limited presence, a sense of there but not visible. William seems to believe that halfway measures invite full-blown confusion. The monarchy, in his view, cannot be both sanctuary and stage for those who have drawn scandal to its doorstep. Clarity is mercy to the public, to the institution, and even to the family members who need a definitive answer instead of a prolonged limbo, and yet the human problem sits stubbornly at the center. Beatrice and Eugenie didn't choose the headlines, but they live with them. William knows that every institutional decision has a personal cost. He is trying to thread a needle that resists being threaded, protect the crown's integrity without fracturing the bonds of kinship that have kept him steady through years of scrutiny. That's why this moment matters more than gossip. It is a preview of the philosophy that will guide his throne. Does he solve problems by conciliating them into silence, or by excising them in daylight? There's also the question of timing. William is not king yet, but leadership is already being tested. Every time a controversy resurfaces, every time an awkward public moment with Andrew is caught by the cameras, every time Camilla's role is scrutinized, the public reads the tea leaves. Is the next reign preparing to modernize by tightening the roster and raising the bar? Or will it attempt to square the circle, keeping family ties warm while drawing a hard line in public? Perhaps the real answer sits in the balance William must strike. Modernize without dehumanizing, enforce standards without theatrics, and protect the crown without breaking the people attached to it. If he can find a way to preserve his affection for his cousins while decisively separating the crown from the scandals of their parents, he will set a template for a monarchy that feels both principled and humane. If he can't, he'll be forced into a choice that defines him before the coronation robes ever touch his shoulders. You don't need a title to see the cliff edge. The next chapter will be written in choices, not speeches. Who appears on the balcony? Who disappears from the court circular? Who is invited to stand beside the sovereign at the moments that matter? Is the institution stronger when it is smaller and stricter, or when it is forgiving and familiar? Should a monarch protect the crown first, or the family that surrounds it? The world is watching, and so, more intently than anyone, are Beatrice and Eugenie.